Welcome back to the Wake Man channel. All right, well, we are back here at the lake, first weekend in June, and we are finally going to launch on the water. It's about 2 foot up from last weekend. They got the docks in, so apparently I think my wife misinterpreted a message. They said they were going to put the docks in at 3620, which is the elevation. She thought that meant June 20th. So we're good there. I did decide that I am not going to mess with my bearings again, probably for the rest of the summer, unless I have to. I'll just keep a close eye. I determined that the one that I replaced, I think it's sealed, but it just needs more grease. And the one on the other side, I think that it's got enough grease, but it looks like it's, it looks like it's leaking a little bit on the back, the rear seal. So I might have to replace that rear seal at some point too. Hold on, we'll get in there. Anyways, we're going to get out there and I'm going to do some wakeboard sets. It's going to be fairly shallow, so I don't know if I'll do any surfing, but Ellie said she wanted to surf with me, so I might do it just for that. So yeah, I'm going to get in the water here. I'm going to set up a shot just to kind of show you what I do typically when it's like this, when I'm stuck in the bay here. So yeah, I'm going to get after it. All right, getting launched now. Well, the good news is better conditions, but because I go back and forth in a kind of a small space, it'll get tore up pretty quick, but it's as good as you can get for the level of the water right now. So, so I'm relatively happy. I'm probably just gonna wakeboard a bit today, maybe surf with Ellery if she wants to do it. I'll have to show you. So I got a new wakeboard, a Hyperlight wakeboard, and I think I maybe talked about it, I don't know, in another video, but I'm going to show you the comparison to my last board. It's pretty big. So, you know, supposedly it's supposed to be better for softer landings. It's going to be a totally different shape than what I'm used to. So it's probably going to be just some time getting used to that. That and the brand new bindings, they're always stiff at first. So it's just going to be some riding around, and I'll probably do some tricks, but nothing crazy today. Anyways, we get it launched here. All right, we are launched. We got a solid 5 foot of water. I think where I'm going to be wakeboarding, it's probably going to be like 6, maybe 5, but we got 2 foot in the water. So well, the draft of the boat's 2 foot in the water. So yeah, so you can see, you know, we're pretty shallow still, and you can see why only 4 feet ago couldn't even launch. I was curious about the water temp. So not bad, 69. It's actually decent. It's supposed to be 92 today, so I bet the water temp's better tomorrow. All right, filling ballast up. One thing that usually sucks about this time of year is, you know, when we get over towards the mouth of the canyon, and even probably out here a little bit, we got to change the speed going back and forth because it's running. So because it uses GPS, you got to take into consideration the miles per hour that the flow of the water is going. And I think it's faster up, slower down, I believe is how it goes. So you got to up the speed going upstream and increase the speed going downstream. That's always a pain in the butt. So I usually like it once the water's settled. Anyways, filling up here, waiting for Carly to get down from the truck, and then I'll probably get ready and get in the water. And you guys should be seeing us from up on that cliff right back there. I'm doing a time lapse, so I thought it'd be interesting to see us just going back and forth for a while. It's a beautiful day today. It's just no clouds anywhere. It's supposed to be hot. It's already hot. back at the shop. It's actually, we ate lunch and little one's taking a nap right now. And I just got done filming with the drone because I'm gonna talk about our new land in this video. But before I do that, I wanna share some cleaning products with you. I had a guy named Danny from a company called Craft, and I think it's just mainly cleaning products. He reached out to me and asked if I wanted to try out some of his products. And I said, yeah, send them my way. I'd love to try them out. I'm always interested in trying out new cleaning products. So right over here, maybe you might even got a sneak peek in my last video because I was sitting here while I was doing the bearings. But you can see, he sent me a Craft cleaning tote. So I'm gonna pull this out of here really quick. There's a full tote in here. Okay. So what's cool about this is kind of a new thing that I've been seeing is this guy, this whole thing, this whole tote is meant to go in the boat and stay in the boat. So that way you can kind of clean stuff up whenever messes happen. So I already put one of the lids on one of these because I actually used this a little bit last weekend when I got some grease on the sea deck. And it's a pretty nice product. So let me just show you everything in here. It comes with the top for each one of these bottles. It also comes with Craft. Says twisted loop microfiber towels, 1200 GSM. So, and I think it's just one big towel. So yeah, pretty cool. I'll set that over here. It also comes with vinyl and rubber protection. So I don't know if this is a cleaner and a protect. I would think so, not entirely sure. But yeah, vinyl and rubber. So it says Craft UV. It says restores and protects. We also have, we got Craft X, cleans and protects. This is advanced water spot remover, high gloss ceramic protection. So that sounds pretty cool. I'm always interested in water spot plus some sort of protection products, like whether it's wax or ceramic or something like that. I use, if you watch my channel, you know I use a lot of my own water remover mix, which is just about half vinegar, half water, and I give it a touch of Windex or glass cleaner. I've actually been doing something else lately, but yeah, that'll be cool. I'm eager to try that out. We already talked about the Craft Clean, which just says multi-surface cleaner, stubborn stain remover. I'm wondering if, you know, if this is your cleaner for the interior of the boat and then this is your protector. I might have to read about it. Well, let's see here. Powerful UV blockers, restores lost color and luster, helps prevent sunscreen stains, prevents fading and cracking caused by UV rays, leaves a clean, natural, non-greasy finish, helps protect surface from staining, can be used on vinyl, plastic, rubber, leather, PVC, plus more. Moisturizes and conditions with ease. So I think this might just be an after cleaning product, which I do that. When I clean the boat, usually I'm using some sort of cleaner, and right behind it I'm putting on some sort of protectant. You probably would have seen that in some of my cleaning videos. And then we have glass cleaner. So Craft Glass. This will be cool to keep in the boat because a lot of times I just use my half vinegar, half water spray when I have it in the boat or to clean the glass in the boat, but it never gets it quite clean. It helps it, you know, it gets it mostly clean, but it kind of leaves this like I don't know, this sort of layer you can see when the sun hits it. So this will be very cool to have in the boat. And honestly, just the fact that I have this tote and it just stay in the boat all the time will make it to where I can quickly clean up little messes. It also comes with several of these dividers, so you can divide out your tote however you want to. So I already put one divider in here. Might do that on this side too because it was kind of trying to come apart in a way. So throw another divider right there. So, you know, in the end, you will see me using this product, the X, which is for water spots and puts a protective ceramic coat on. You will see me using that one in the video. I'll probably use the glass in this video. The next time I have a stain, I will try to pop this out. But for the most part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the boat so that I can grab it at any time. And then I might be able to give more of an after the season sort of, an after the season review on this stuff. But chances are it's really good stuff. I mean, I don't doubt it too much. I've got my kind of main cleaners I use for certain things. But really nice to have something else. I'll definitely probably use all of this up and all of this. Honestly, I will most likely use all of these. Even if the cleaners that I've been using for years are a little better, I'll probably use this stuff up. Like I said, I really like cleaners like this, where it cleans the water spots, and then it leaves behind some sort of protectant. Because especially with black, you know, my boat being black right now. What I used to do with lighter color boats is I would like wax like somewhere around 3 or 4 times a year. But when you have a darker color boat, you kind of need to be doing that more often, because otherwise it just kind of starts to get harder and harder to clean, just because you can see more on black. So I mean, it's not that it gets harder and harder to clean, it just looks like it. So yeah, and I'm also going to try this towel out. I will be doing a full, you know, wipe down of the boat tomorrow. So I will give this towel a full try. If you've watched my channel a lot, you know that I typically use old white sort of under t-shirts, and been doing that for many years. But obviously I've used some microfiber towels too, and depending on which ones you get, they're good. This one does feel good, so really curious how it'll work out. I think the one thing I wonder is, you know, it's a nice big thick towel, so I wonder if it'll help dry it a little better, quicker. And then the one thing I wonder is, you know, the reason why I have so many old t-shirts and I use those is just because I have like 20 of the things, and I have most of them sitting in my truck. And then what I can do is I can kind of pop them out at any time, and they kind of pile up. In fact, one second. So here's an example of, you know, what I usually use, but I can kind of pop these out at any time, and once I'll just use them. Usually use 2 of these when I wipe down the boat, because they start to get dirtier and dirtier, or even just too wet. And then what I'll do is I put them in the laundry, and then I've got more to use, and then that set comes out, you know, so it's just a cycle. So maybe what I'll do is I'll save this for specific things, and maybe because this is in the boat all the time, I use it to clean up messes in the boat when they happen. A good example is my wife's had a thing for the last few years where she brings coffee on the boat and she spills the dang coffee on the boat. Happened again today. So maybe I'll have my cleaner on the boat, I can hurry up and clean that stuff off. So I think the coolest thing about this is the fact that I've got a tote that can stay in the boat all the time. So thank you, Danny, for the craft products. And I'll be cleaning with some of these a little later in the video, so I'll give you my thoughts on it, and then I'll probably give my thoughts on it a little later in the season after I've used it plenty of times. So but yeah, always willing to try out new products, new cleaning products. So thank you. Also, just a heads up, you know, I did get sent free product, but this is not a paid ad. So I am just trying them out, and I'll give my honest review. If you're interested, I'll just show you there. It's looks like craftproproducts.com right there. So I thought I'd sit down on my wake bench here and talk a little bit about the land we bought next to us. So I talked about it in the first video of the season a little bit, and said I'd talk about it more in an upcoming video. Oh, my lower back, I tweaked it a little bit wakeboarding today. That just shows my age. But anyways, I'm still planning on getting out tomorrow, try some more. And FYI, that everything feels super rusty. I think it's due to the fact that I've been away from wakeboarding for quite a while, you know, over 9 months. I've also got a new board that's totally different feel than I'm used to. The last several boards were all the same model, just little differences in technology along the way. And just the fact that the water level is low, it's hard to get a good wake. There's only like one little piece where you can hit it, get 2 hits in where it's good wake. But yeah, just rusty, because I think also the last like month of last year, I was just trying to do the front row. That was it. So I think I got way out of practice some things, but I'll get back into it. But yeah, the land that we bought right next to us. So like I said, that lot was, the lot right next to us has always been empty, but it's never been on the market since we bought our place, or even when we were buying our place. That lot has never been on the market, and it's just to the north of us. I'm looking at it right now. I did some drone shots, so I'll show some of that through here while I'm talking. It is a bigger piece of land. You'll see in the overhead shot that it goes a little more to the west than this property that I built the shop on does. Main reason for buying that property, you know, I'm sure you might wonder why, like, why would you do that? Why would you buy that property? Number one reason is because we did not want somebody to essentially look at our shop and be like, oh, that's a great idea, let's build the same thing right next to it, and then it blocks our view, because we have a pretty nice view out to the Prairie Mountains out this way, and we have a deck, you know, that's roughly 12 feet in the air, that looks out that way, or that's roughly like 10 feet in the air, that has a really good view. So we didn't want somebody to build a shop right in front of it and block our view. Now, so that's primary reason. Secondary reason is for a long time I've been a bit of an investor in different ways, and you know, real estate is one of those things that I've sort of dabbled in here and there. I actually owned a duplex for 16 years, lived in one side of it for 12 of those years, and then I decided to sell that when the market was crazy and I was able to get over asking for it. And it's because I just didn't want to be managing, doing property management for long-term rentals anymore. I did have sort of, you know, thoughts of adding more long-term rentals and then having a property management company, but you always make better money when you manage yourself. You just deal with more stress and more, you know, more just crap. But I just decided to get out of that. Anyways, so in addition, you know, I would have never bought that property next to us if it was just because I wanted to secure our view. So there had to be some other motives, and I would say the other motive mainly would be to make it some sort of investment, whether it be building a home on it and selling that and just making a chunk of change. And in that case, I could control what gets put there, make it a single level home. I could control orientation and like put a fence up, whatever, you know. The driveway that I have that's got the driveway that I put gravel on out here that I drive the boat out on, that actually goes out a little into that property, but that's there's an alleyway there that's got an easement on it, so you can't build anything permanent on it. So really it doesn't matter. In fact, if I were to put a fence right at the edge of the property, it'd be right about where the gravel ends, and I'd still be able to drive the boat out the way I do. But yeah, that's one thought. Build some sort of like a 3-bedroom single level house, a lot like the house that's right next to us here, and then just sell it and make a little money off of it. Another idea is to build another shop, and since it would be ours, you know, I could even stagger it so this one still has a view. Stagger this one over to where, you know, the deck here still has the view out, but then that one can get the view too, just in a different orientation. The only downside to that, well, there's two downsides to that. You know, obviously the benefit to that would be like we could take what we did here and just make it a little better along the way, right? More living room space is kind of the biggest thing I think of. But the downsides would be, you know, if I'm going to continue to do vacation rentals on this place, on Airbnb and Vrbo, things like that, and I would do that for 9 months out of the year of the place that we're going to use, they would directly compete with each other during that time. And this last year was not like a solid year. Like, it was okay, but I mean, I would much prefer the year before where it was booked pretty well. So having another one right next to it would just, you know, it would just make it to where they're just stealing each other's business, right? So it doesn't make sense to me to do that unless we decide we just don't need to do vacation rental for one of the properties. So that it could be a cool idea, thinking through that. The other, the other downside would be the way that I drive the boat all the way in and can kind of go all the way out of this shop. It's kind of ideal. I could do a setup in that one too, on that property too. It just wouldn't be probably as nice. Although I could probably think of a way to make it work. So that's not as big of a deal, but just one of the considerations. Another idea I had is to do some sort of smaller home or homes, and then they would be vacation rentals, and they'd be like at most 2 bedrooms, but probably just 1 bedrooms. And I was thinking about doing like 2 tiny homes on that property, and that way they would not compete with this place, because this is a much bigger place. Sleeps 8 people. Those places would sleep like 2 to 3 or something, maybe up to 4 people, but they'd be small. It'd be like somebody who's looking for a much more cost effective place to stay, and they don't need a lot of space. So that's something I'm actually pretty interested in, that idea. But I am very interested in what other ideas you guys might have. So please comment below anything you can think of, any ideas. I will consider them. I am not in a hurry. Definitely not going to start building anything on it right now. We kind of like it being open like this. It might not even be till much later in life. I thought about like maybe I don't want to do anything until I retire and then do something on it, because then it'd just give me stuff to do when I'm retired, and just I'd have more time to deal with these things. So yeah, just not sure on that stuff. We don't pay the taxes on this place right here are pretty cheap. At least, and when it was an empty lot, it was like almost nothing. And that lot was definitely more expensive. I knew it would be. We actually, the way I bought that land is I reached directly out to the owners and just asked if they'd be interested in selling. I did that like 2 years ago, and they kind of told me what they wanted for it, and then I just basically, kind of planned for it, and then we eventually just decided to do it. Yeah, so I basically gave them what they wanted. They told me what they needed, and I gave them what they wanted. So we didn't have to go through a very huge process to do that. Plus, they're realtors, or one of them's a realtor, and the other one's a builder. So they were just planning on, it was just an investment property for them too. They were just planning on building something and either renting it or selling it as well. So anyways, that is the story on that land next to us. Like I said, probably not going to do anything with it for definitely not this summer or year, and probably not next year, but I do have the ability. Right now, I have the financing already set up, but it's also set up so I can do it kind of anytime in the next several years. I do have the financing set up to where I could just do something on it. But it would need to be in the way I typically do things. Like I wanted to start making money pretty quickly, so it would need to be turned around pretty quickly. Like I don't know, between 6 and 8 months. Very similar to what I did with this place, the shop. So yeah, those are my thoughts. That's why one of the reasons why I like the idea of tiny homes is because I could basically have foundations poured and then just plop those things on there and hook them up, and they'd be good to go. Should be really quick turnaround if I plan it well. And I think it'd be a pretty neat idea. I think in this small town, I think this town's only got like 2,500 people. I think in a small town like this, I think it would do well renting out as vacation rentals. A lot of people come through here to go to Yellowstone National Park. A lot of people like the recreation area we're in. People hunt, people fish. And I've had people stay here that are working here for a little while too. So I think it would do well. I think 2 tiny homes would do really well. So yeah, that's the idea. That's what we did. That's what we're thinking about, is those kind of different options. But yeah, anyways, that is it on the land. We are going to go out to the lake tomorrow, and I'm going to ride again. It was like 4 feet deep in some areas, which that's 4 feet from the bottom of the boat, which the boat's in the water approximately 2 feet, so like 6-ish feet. There was a couple, one spot in particular where I dropped or fell down, and I just was testing. I stuck my wakeboard down in, and I could touch mud. It's like fluffy mud. That's why I'm not worried about riding out there when it's shallow, because I just know this lake really good. But But yeah, really fluffy mud. Like it's like a layer of fluffy mud on top of just thicker mud. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, it just wasn't able to make a really great wake, which I expect when it's like this. And then surfing's just not even a thing. I probably could have foiled, but I'm only really worried about wakeboarding right now. I want it to get deeper. Really hope it works out. I'm a little nervous that we're not going to get much of a season because we didn't get a whole lot of snowpack this year. They let a bunch of water out already, obviously, and that part I don't agree with. But I don't know that there's enough water to fill it up unless we get some pretty good rainstorms. So it may cut our season short, which is super unfortunate. In fact, I'm a little concerned I'm not even gonna be able to get out to my spot at all. Last year we weren't able to go the full run, but at least by this time of year, it was already up to where we could get out there and do half of my normal run. Yeah, anyways, that is it for now. I'll probably talk to you guys a little bit tomorrow when we go to the lake. All right, well, another butter day out here on approximately, I don't know, maybe up to 7 foot of water right here. It came up a little, but not much. Ooh, there's a nice wasp in here now. Get out of here. Anyways, yeah, I've got some radiator fluid or coolant that's leaking still, and I'm not sure. I got to check on it. It's not much because I keep on watching the overflow, and it's still got plenty of room. But anyways, it's a little nerve-wracking. We drove all day yesterday, or not all day, for a little over an hour yesterday, and it was fine. But yeah, it definitely makes me nervous. Well, I gotta go pick up Carly at the dock here.
Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head.
Got us a little audience today. First time we've seen people up on the edge like that. It looks like a lot of people too. Like 15 or something. I'm not sure what they're doing. They're just like all huddled up just talking. All right, back from the lake. That was a good set this morning. I got several of my tricks back and just kind of felt good overall. Yesterday I felt like, man, like I feel like I can't even wakeboard anymore. So I was like, am I just done? But I just got to remember that that's just how you feel, you know, your first set out, and you just feel super rusty. So I was able to kind of get back in the rhythm of things, and obviously I'm not doing awesome, but felt pretty good on a lot of tricks. The hardest thing right now though is just like, you know, the way the water is, and going back and forth in a short spot, it's just hard to have a consistent wake. But I was able to make it work and have fun, so I felt good about today. I am going to clean the boat now. We're gonna head back home today, so I'm actually gonna eat lunch, but the next thing you're gonna see is the boat getting clean. So I am gonna use the Craft product, and you can actually see, you know, I've got what I call a scum line going on here from just the way the water is right now. It's a pretty good scum line, and just water spots everywhere. I'm not sure how well you guys can see that. Now obviously, you know, I'll open the other door so there's some extra light, and maybe I'll show the other side. But obviously you guys, it'll be hard to see on the camera like how well it's doing. And like generally I do a pretty good job of cleaning the water spots off anyways, with other stuff that I've used. But what I'll do is I'll give you my thoughts about it afterwards. Yeah, and I'm gonna use the glass cleaner to clean the glass too. So yeah, I'll work on that. Also, one of the things that I haven't said anything about, but when we got down here for the first part of the year to the shop, we noticed we had a bird nest under the deck, and there were little babies in it, and I got some clips of that. And each week, you know, they got bigger and bigger when we came here. And just yesterday, they hopped out of the nest and took off, and there was one out on the road, and I went and got it out of the road and stuff. But I did a time lapse of their last moments in the nest. Didn't know that was gonna be their last moments in the nest. So I'm gonna let you guys see that at the end of this video. Anyways, I will get to cleaning the boat. All right, I finished up cleaning the outside of the boat. I did forget to use the towel that came with the craft cleaning products on the one side, but I did use it on that side. You just didn't get to see it in time lapse, which I think would have made a difference. You can tell this side, and it might be hard to tell in the video, but this side is cleaner because that's what I used, and it's shinier. It looks like it's got like a wax finish on it. Now, and it's actually a ceramic finish or coating apparently. Now this is the other side, and I don't know if you can tell, there's a little bit of, you know, just kind of white marks and stuff. The product I use on this side is my normal product, and it does have a wax in it. So here are my thoughts. I think, so this obviously has some sort of acidic base or acid base, because you notice that when you spray, you inhale a little bit of it, and you can kind of feel it burn. The other stuff I use has more of a vinegar base, so acidic, but much easier on things than like an actual acid, or different types of acid, I should say. Now I would say, so I started doing this and I was like, man, this is kind of leaving streaks and stuff, more so than my other cleaner. But I realized, I read the directions for a second. What you're supposed to do is you clean it, and then you flip the towel over, and then you dry it off, which is basically kind of like buffing in your wax, or, you know, you wax on, wax off sort of thing. This did take a little longer, and when you're cleaning, it's a little more sticky as opposed to smooth as you're cleaning. So I would say this takes a little more time, but the results are better. So I do like that. But here's the thing. I use a continuous spray bottle. And so the cleaning on the other side went quicker. Again, results not as good. I could go back over with a dry towel though, and probably have a very similar effect on that side. I do think this craft product provides a better end result. But because I use the continuous sprayer, I want to be able to do it a little quicker. I think I'm going to stick to my other personal mix that I use to clean the outside. But I'm definitely going to, I think the coolest thing about these products is that it came with the tote, and I can keep it in the boat. So I think I'm going to keep this in the boat with the rest of the cleaning stuff, and I'm going to use it to clean the inside. Because there's plenty of gel coat on the inside of the boat and other things on the inside of the boat that I like to clean up every once in a while. And it's not like the outside of the boat where I do it every time, you know, every trip basically. So I think I'm going to keep it in the boat and use it in the boat. And maybe every once in a while I'll bring it out and do the outside. But yeah, that's my thoughts. The towel works good. I do like the product. But as far as, you know, my preference is to clean a little quicker. But this would be really good if you don't do it maybe as often, or if you're just a little bit more meticulous and you want it to look better, because that's definitely a really good good end results. Like I said, it looks like it's like just newly waxed. Yeah, anyways, that is it for this video. We will be coming back down next week. I'm not sure what the next video is going to be. It could be the new toy. I am going to attempt to bring my new toy down next week. And I'll explain when it gets to that video. I'm just not exactly sure if you'll see that video 1 week from now or not. But I'll try. So I will do my outro and I will leave you with the baby birds to watch at the end here. So thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any thoughts on this video or ideas for future videos, please leave those in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and click on that notifications bell so you can be notified of my future videos. I'll see you next week.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head. I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat